looking back, it was better to have a car that took a few hot laps than, you know, do a perfect presentation about the business case of the car, you know. I've always wanted to be an engineer, and this project is definitely, it's sort of a dream come true. I'm Brine Leach. I'm the project coordinator, I guess, for Aero. I try to keep track of how we're doing on the project and try to have enough knowledge of all the subsystems to know when we're, you know, behind schedule or doing okay or what needs to happen. And so that's sort of my job. It has to be rewarding, because if obviously there's nobody here, you know, there's no fanfare or anything like that, and it's just sort of a quiet day in Loudon, New Hampshire, and it's people from all over the country just coming here to, you know, prove that something that they've put a lot of time into is sort of worthwhile and works well.
My name is Charlie Robinson. I am from Boulder, Colorado. I am currently a graduate student at the University of Vermont. I am a computer science student. I graduated from UVM last spring and was offered an accelerated master's program, so I'm still here for another 2 semesters to try and get my master's degree and then go off and do whatever happens next. My role in all of this was the lead for the control systems. So I built 3 computers to deal with the dashboard, the pedal monitoring system, and the actual vehicle control unit. The most important part of this is the control. Secondary to that is being able to monitor the car so we can try to make it better in the future. I don't know what motivates me. It might be a degree of masochism to some extent.
Some more women should join Aero. My name is Jennifer Brine, and I'm from Maine. And I'm supposed to be a senior, but I switched my major, so I'm a sophomore. I met with my advisor, and she suggested that I join a couple clubs. And I had heard about this one in one of my freshman design classes, and I figured that I could probably learn a lot from it. And I was definitely right. And then I've just worked on various things. I just go down to the Aero room and ask them if they need me to do anything. I took the center differential apart the other day, and I got to see how that works. But I got to help with the nose cone, and then they let a bunch of the new people do a drivetrain teardown, so we got to learn about the engine. I really would like to practice my welding this summer, and if I could get really good at it, I'd like to be one of the people who does a lot of welding.
Aero kind of was my stepping stone into the engineering program here, and I took on the power electronics task, basically motors, generators, batteries, and it's taken me from the beginning of my time with Aero until now to really learn everything that I need to know to make a complete lithium-ion battery pack. It's something that scares away the mechanical engineers because they're afraid of the electrical side of the things. But then it scares away the electrical engineers too because it's too like hardware-y. Like the mechanical specifications of your battery box are just as important as the electrical specifications. And the battery we have on this car now is pretty terrific.
I could sort of spend quite a bit of time just thinking and writing about all the lessons that we sort of learned. You know, we've got 15 people here that are learning things that they would otherwise, they just wouldn't be learning at all. If, you know, in school, it's like this is a project that people are getting a lot out of and having fun with. I mean, people are just rolling with it. You see people come in at the beginning of the year and they're transformed, you know, come spring. And it's
I spent more time doing things that weren't related to my academic training at all. I learned more about mechanical and electrical engineering than I ever have in my life. And it was all kind of third party. It was having my hands on some actual hardware and standing around other students who knew a lot about it and having them explain it to me. It's just,
now a lot of stuff in my classes makes sense. Yeah, just basic like F equals MA stuff, like you hear about it, but then when you can like see it in action and people are talking about it.
We have one of the most impressive accelerations of any of the cars here. And I think the thing that really blew everybody's mind is when our gas motor turned off and the car continued to accelerate at such high rates with no noise whatsoever.
I think we looked really good, and a lot of the people I was standing with said we looked really good. I wish we could have done the acceleration test yesterday, because I think we would have done well in it. I think we were doing good. We just need to make it more reliable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, stress. It was pretty stressful.
I think our morale was down for a little while. And then yesterday we had a hard time with the sound check.
as it turned out, our muffler was not up to spec, so our car was quite loud.
Extremely loud. It was actually 10 times louder than what the rules allowed.
And you'd think such a small detail, but the problem with tech inspections is that any one thing that goes wrong, no matter how small, it pretty much, all bets are off for you. So we spent a lot of effort trying to get that put together, and there was a period of time where it didn't look like that was going to happen.
That we had to sort of conjure up a muffler system to quiet the thing down.
We stuffed a whole bunch of stuff in the exhaust, fiberglass and stainless steel wall and restrictor plates and some baffles.
So, as with most simple things, it was really kind of just a moment of singularity when we finally passed the test.
When it came to the endurance race, I said, well, you know, like, just go out there and have fun. I mean,
so it's a timed endurance event, so they give you an allotted amount of gas, and you have to complete the entire event with that amount of gas. Whichever team uses the least gas gets an efficiency bonus, so that's strictly based on what rank you come in. It's not. You have two drivers. Each driver does 12 laps in a row. If you don't do them in a row, you're disqualified. And you can't charge. Yeah, when you pull into the pits, you can't charge your battery pack from anything but the power you're allotted, which is gas.
Adam and Dave are. They've been friends ever since the start of college. They're in the car. I don't know. We call Dave McCloskey Silent Chaos. I don't know if I've mentioned that to you because he's just this quiet kid who's just like, you put him in a car and he's slightly insane. So I think he has a lot of potential. So he's really fast, and Adam is. Was actually a pretty talented, still is, motocross racer. So he has racing experience. I mean, he knows about driving a vehicle to perform, and those guys have been around long enough and have put enough time in where they know every subsystem on the car. So if something's going wrong in the car, you need a driver that's actually able to sort of diagnose it as they're going and be able to tell if something's really wrong. Or
if it makes it through Dave's first 12 laps and I get to get in the car, we're doing pretty good. So if it makes it through all 24 laps with no problems, I'll be pretty impressed, but I think I can do it.
Adam knew that that the engine was about to seize, and so we brought it in, we talked about it, and we're like, okay, let's hang it up.
After all of the nervousness and after all of the time spent trying to get everything together, just watching the car go off the line was, I was really happy. I jumped around. It was a good moment for me.
See ya. Nice job.